All right, it's the Down Beach Buzz podcast for November 7, 2025 with Sherry Lilienfeld of eXp Realty. Buy, sell, just reach out. Sherry Lilienfeld, go to realtysherry.com. And the Down Beach Buzz podcast also powered by Paul Scollage at rate.com. You can find Paul at rate.com. Sherry Lilienfeld, also known as Sustainable Sherry. Why don't we talk about last night at the Margate Commission meeting? A lot of great topics, but the one that jumped out to me was the water or the water issue. Could you give us a background on the water, or should we watch the video real fast to see what was said? We have some stuff from you on this video. We recorded it last night. There was no video, but we got the audio. Should we run that 3-minute audio so you can then maybe talk about it, Sharon?
Yeah, that would be great.
All right, so I'm going to bring the video from last night on the stage, and you're going to mute your mic. So I'm going to hit add to stage, and then that's there. You turned your mic off, and now I'm going to hit this button. Let's see if we can see it real good. Here we go.
Also, right now, just so we're aware, we're having some difficulty with our video. It's kind of why I'm a little bit distracted. I apologize. We're trying to get this up and running.
Do we know what the contamination was, and is it still there?
I can definitely say that it is not still there. To be able to explain what it was, I'm a little bit off on that. It had to do with PFAs.
PFAS?
Yeah.
PFAS?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's pretty bad. But go ahead.
So supposedly, we had a count at one point that may have been elevated. And I don't know if because of that issue, we were able to, or we were contacted by this group, or if it was just a general overall. There's a bunch of municipalities in the state that qualify to get money for a cleanup, whether it actually directly affects them or if it's just in the general area. And they contacted us. Scott met with them or discussed it with them, for lack of better terms.
Well, what I would suggest is there should be information published on this. Obviously, people care about the water that they drink. And if there's a class action suit, even though it's not costing us anything, we should be aware of the issue and what was involved. And, people are going to have questions, and it's better to answer their questions instead of having them come here and ask and wonder why didn't we know?
All right, we will now open up
Mike,
public.
before we do, I have a couple of things, please.
Sure.
If somebody can explain to me Resolution 292-2025. Don't recall being on any emails or having any discussions related to that. Can I just get a brief update for me and for the public?
We were contacted a while ago in reference to a lawsuit that, trying to think what the word is for it. Class action lawsuit. During that information, and this was actually done by Scott, so he has most of the information on this. So we were contacted saying there might be an issue with a settlement in New Jersey where we would have access to money in case something were to go awry with our water. At this point in time, there was nothing that we know of that there's been a serious problem. I think at one point we did have a test that came up a little bit different, and that was addressed and has not.
With the city's water?
I believe so, yeah.
So we're hiring this. Again, I'm just confused. Can you make it simple?
Yeah, it's a class action lawsuit, and we're being represented by, we're entering into a class action lawsuit where this firm is representing a bunch of municipalities that receive money for possible cleanup and additional stuff with water. It's not for anything that's presently that we have to presently address. However, with the class action lawsuit, there is some additional monies to ensure if there are any issues, we can address it.
Do we know what the contamination was, and is it still there?
And I don't know if we can unmute Scott, but at this point we're having a little bit of an issue with everything. Yeah. So I'm not exactly sure.
Commissioner Scott.
All right, let me take this off the stage and do that. So what do you think, Cher? First off, give us a 30,000-foot view of what this is all about. Is something about contaminated water, but no fears. Don't worry about it. Everything is fine. And we have a class action lawsuit, and business administrator Pat Moran. It seems like not many people last night at the commission meeting had a good grasp of how to describe what this thing was. Maybe because you were there, what do you think happened last night with the supposedly contaminated water in Margate?
Well, through the state, through New Jersey, can you hear me okay? Okay. Through the state of New Jersey, PFAS is a chemical. It's called it's a forever chemical because it lasts forever and it causes a lot of problems. And it comes from, manufacturing. DuPont and 3M were very big involved as the defendants in lawsuits because they produce a lot of the chemicals. Like when you make Teflon, it's one of the chemicals in Teflon. Also, people making the fire retardant foam, that's a problem. So it's in the state of New Jersey. And there were some major class action lawsuits in New Jersey. I will say I was not able to find anything that reported contamination in Atlantic County. Most of this has gone up. Well, you have Ocean County and Monmouth County. Those were the closest. But then you have, like Essex County, Bergen County, Middlesex. It's mostly of New Jersey. And when you think of North Jersey, you think of all the manufacturing. But in 2021, we were required to test for PFAS in our water. But those results are not public. So what I'm thinking he was referring to is the numbers were high, but we don't know what those numbers are. So there's not a lot of full disclosure here. We don't really know what that number is. What was surprising to me was that he couldn't answer the basic questions. Like we got contacted by who contacted you? Well, I'm guessing it's a lawyer that's trying to get more people involved in this class action suit. They should have specifics. You don't talk about water contamination in a municipality and a class action suit without expecting there's going to be questions and concern from the residents. It's just crazy that wasn't that they just let they casually mention it. I'm very disappointed that Scott Abbott didn't get on and chime in because apparently he knows a lot. And I mean, even when he's there at the meetings, Scott stays very quiet unless you really say address him directly. Scott, please answer this because you remember there are other issues where I address Scott. But he's a lawyer. He knows not to talk. He knows when you're talking, you're getting yourself in trouble. So he stays quiet unless he's forced to answer. They should have made him answer.
So last night somebody said, "Hey, why do we have a different attorney?"
I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me right now? Bum, bum, bum. So you can't hear me. I think that you have to do something on your side, I think. Can't hear me?
Sorry.
1, 2, 3. Does that sound any better? Edit mic settings. So you can't hear me, huh?
Sorry. We're having some technical difficulties. I guess we're like the Zoom call in Margate.
Yeah, that's weird because I can hear me pretty good.
Should we come back on?
Yeah, so we'll cancel it now and then we'll come right back. We'll be right back.